versus Tony Ferguson. So a lot of you guys asking, was it really an early stoppage? And let's also talk about Darren Till and Luke Rockhold fight. My name is Pausalu from Powcast Sports. We do boxing, basketball, MMA commentary. And today we're talking about the fight of the Filipino Nathaniel Bustamante, aka Super Salt Papi. We were expecting him to win, but unfortunately, he was defeated by the 41-year-old MMA UFC legend Tony Ferguson, which is actually a good win. So, but to answer your question whether it's a stoppage or not, first let's show you a little bit of clips. Okay, so anyway, uh this is what happened courtesy of the zone. So Soul Poppy was there, couldn't believe that it was stopped early, I think. Again, hopefully we don't get copyrighted here. But that is just a quick, let me just go back to here you go, one two one. Let me count how many punches was unanswered. One. Okay. One, two, three, four, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. I gotta start with the punches that was not answered. So those are like 10 to 11 punches that was and answered by Salt Poppy. And in boxing, and I've been watching boxing for a long time. Um, I think that is a good stoppage, if you ask me. Now, I might have a little bias on the Filipino, but I think Tony Ferguson deserves the win. Let me tell you, however, what happened, and I think the mistake of Salt Poppy here. The first and second round, Salt Poppy was actually doing great countering, and he was backing up. Um, Actually, I don't know exactly if the strategy of Salt Poppy was fit for Tony Ferguson, because he was given Tony Ferguson confidence in the fight from first round to the third round. As you can see, Tony Ferguson, although he's getting hit with some effective punches, and the commentators and I believe Salt Poppy won the first to the second round. I actually believe that third round could have is a close one as well. If only because of that last sequence, then it could have gone through Salt Poppy. And that's just me being biased. But first round, Salt Poppy was tagging Tony Ferguson with left punches, and I think he almost, I mean, he hurt Tony Ferguson. I actually watched the interview of Tony Ferguson. He got some blister in his eye. So Salt Poppy was doing great. The thing that I would have wanted to see from Salt Poppy is maybe utilize some body shots against a 41-year-old. I mean, it looks like Tony Ferguson had better stamina than Salt Poppy all throughout the round. I mean, I was actually surprised that when Salt Poppy hurt Tony Ferguson, that he didn't double up and try to be aggressive. Instead, he tried to continue the same thing as he was doing, but the difference on the fight was he was gassing out more than Tony Ferguson. That really is the big difference. Although Salt Poppy had some effective punches and that left hand was really great, it was Tony Ferguson showing a lot more experience. And if you ask me, and nothing against Salt Poppy, Tony Ferguson was showing more will to win the fight. He was much more willing to engage than Salt Poppy, who was, I said this before, that the thing that could make Salt Poppy lose this fight is if he gets intimidated. I'm not saying he's intimidated. Maybe he respects too much Tony Ferguson. And here's what happened, because he wasn't really trying to be aggressive as he should have done in a lot of the instances in the fight, which made a difference. Now, Tony Ferguson is a fighter. Nevertheless, even if he was fighting in the UFC, or if he's an MMA fighter, he is a fighter. He knows when he sees someone gets hurt, he knows when to attack and when to aggressive, and that's exactly what he did. Salt Poppy, at that part, he didn't move his head. He wasn't returning back the punches. He was gassed out. That's the reason why he lost the fight. He was gassed out, and Tony Ferguson just took advantage. So Tony Ferguson, congratulations. That was not a bad stoppage. So it was a good stoppage from the referee coming up from a Filipino uh, boxing commentator. So I think that's a good stoppage. I want to talk real quick about Darren Till. Man, wow, what a left hand as well. Like everyone's going Sapo these days. Is it because of Pacquiao? I mean, this was the. Let me see if I could find that. Darren Till. Look at that. Right, left. I mean, look, Rockhold was in trouble. Even before this happened, he was in trouble. He was down, and Darren Till showed composure. He wasn't trying to hurry up or force the situation. And Luke Rockhold wasn't really able to recover. Luke Rockhold looked bigger. Actually, I think he might have gotten the early rounds, but Darren Till, that left hand was right on target. The first knockdown in boxing, I don't know if there's any MMA fans that's watching this. If you get the a first punch, you're obviously gonna be you have leverage because it's hard to recover, especially you get hit multiple times in the same location. So um, Look, Rockhold didn't have any defense in that left hand, and it's Darren Till was just timing and doing the same thing, and that's exactly what happened at the end. So Darren Till actually won the fight. It looks like MMA fighters or UFC fighters, because they already got the names, are going to be a trend right now, not just YouTubers. So this is kind of like the development right now for boxing and for misfit boxing specifically. So they're getting influencers to fight. Now they're getting UFC fighters, which is a good idea because they already have names and they can still fight. Look at what we've seen. I mean, these are great fights. So I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of name UFC fighters that established name in the UFC would try boxing. And as you know, boxing is they're earning a little bit or maybe a lot more than UFC. So it's a little bit different. Anyway, so that's it. That's my opinion. What's your opinion on the Salt Puppy fight? Was it an early stoppage or not? Now you heard mine. Let me hear your opinion on the matter.